So those are all things that
When do we use?
so when a tech calls you and says, hey, I have a 125 ticket number, that's when.
Oh. What is that? Wow. It says international.
Yeah. So you guys have an immense amount of clear training documents, which means that you should know how to run review. I'm not saying that you're perfect at it, but you can update tech times, you can leave a note, get the basic concepts, is that right?
Yes, can I just clarify? All right, we know how to do this in case we ever have to, but just as previously stated, what we should do is,
Not all calls including RPM.
okay, so for the CDW, those are hours?
We have CDW, we have Senate, we have State Farm, we
No,
have
babe.
CCR.
Can
I'm
I
gonna
get
put
a
them in
list
my
of which
device.
ones are hours, so I'll know when I get a call, which ones I do these things to?
If they call in with the 125 number, those hit.
Okay, but if the 125 number is us in Clearview, not
Okay,
PMO.
so,
PMO
right,
number is
I'm
different.
gonna show you guys how to determine if it's a project or a break fix ticket.
Yes, that's what we need.
Yes, so I'm gonna show you how to do that in Clearview. So regardless, you're probably going to pull up the ticket,
Okay.
but I'll at least be able to tell you where to go to look to see if it's a project. Just a throwback to like day one training, okay? We are 101A right now. What time frame are your emails expected to be responded to?
15 minutes.
With a resolution at what time? An hour? 1 hour. So a 15-minute response time is an hour resolution. If you don't have a resolution in an hour, you still provide that update. Hey, we're still working on assigning a technician, blah, blah, blah. Okay? What department assigns technicians? It's a trick question. What department assigns technicians?
Any.
Not any. Tech support can assign.
Tech assignments.
CRS.
So CRS can assign your own technicians, and by all means, if you have a favorite technician who is running for you, who does amazing things for you, and is not on another work order, and you're not jeopardizing another work order, call me. I do it. If I have a dire ticket and I know that I have this tech in this area and I have this tech in this area, and I know one of them is probably going to be able to go, I'm going to call. So CC, get off my screen, Crystal. CC, call center, you guys assign technicians left and right. WWTS is a perfect example. You assign the technician, you close the call, right? There's no phone call involved. Additionally, when a technician calls in and they're like, hey, I want to pick up this work order, we want to push them to the portal. We always do it. But if a technician is by all means saying, I want to be assigned to this work order, try and assign it to the work order as best as possible, so that everybody knows how to assign to work order.
Yeah.
Great. Everybody here knows how to assign a technician? You don't? Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so call center, tag, CRS, we can all assign our own technicians to our work orders. So what status does a call go into if information is missing to begin?
What do you call entitlement?
What do you do?
Get the information, enter it, and move along.
How do you know what information to enter?
Because
Whatever's going, there's
Right.
supposed to be a note.
So how do you know what information to enter?
well, you get it from the partner well, sometimes it's not a note because it works that way if there's no serial number. So you
Right.
just gotta know, look for that.
So when a call goes into any call entitlement, what are you looking for? Like what fields do you look at?
Well, at the top it'll say, like, if it's missing a serial number, it'll say enter equipment. Add equipment.
It says that all
Have that always.
Yeah,
So the first thing that I'm going to look for is a tech support note saying, or 5 tech support notes saying, hey, we can't get in touch with this customer, we can't get in touch with this customer, we can't get in touch with this customer. And then I'm going to Google, because tech support doesn't know how to Google. So I'm going to Google that person if it's a business if it's saying this number, the normal server issue that we have with our phones, if it's giving me that message, I'm gonna go grab my phone. It's right here, it's usually on my desk. If it's not, I'm gonna grab a Barrister cell phone and call it. If that's the case, we can make sure that we modify our server to allow that phone number.
Okay. It costs me their server though.
Right. So we'll be able to know here when you call from my cell phone. And then if you're still missing stuff and it's like Square Trick, we have their email address. By all means, email them. Hey, we can't give your phone number. Blah blah blah. How long is the call allowed to stay in pending call entitlement?
3 days.
How long is the call allowed to stay in pending call entitlement?
2 hours.
I was 2 hours.
It's allowed to stay in pending call entitlement for 3 days without getting your contact information or the information that's needed.
But they can't be
Oh, before it gets
untouched for 2
closed.
hours.
Huh?
Okay, yeah, what she said.
Okay.
Yeah, so it needs to be touched every 2 hours.
Right, okay, that's where we were.
Or within 2 hours of it going into that status, it can't stay open for more than 3 days.
Okay.
If it's a serial number issue, how are you getting that information?
It's in the information box.
Sometimes. So, if
Sometimes.
it's not HP break fix, how are you getting that information?
Call the customer and get it.
What if you have an issue with both?
Call
You don't have a phone number and you don't have a serial number.
partner.
Okay. And you're doing that within 2 hours and within 3 business days. Right? Okay. So we have tickets open that are 6 days old. And pending call time. I just want to throw that out there. So everybody's clear on the process that it cannot stay open for more than 3 days, but we have tickets that are open for 6 days right now. Clear? See why it has to be brought up? Which of the following is not a way for a customer to open a call? Customer portal, bridge, email, fax.
Fax.
Okay. Who's responsible for managing a service call?
The CRS.
Okay. That's right. You're right. The CRS is responsible for managing the service call. Define management though. Like, so, Ms. P, will you define managing a service call?
Making sure the customer is aware of what's going on, the parts are going where they're supposed to be, and the tech has been assigned.
And aware.
It's going.
Yeah.
Shannon, you want to add anything to that?
Make sure the partner's updated as well.
There we go. So our complaints, we have 2 huge complaints, one's from the technicians and one's from the partners. About 3 weeks ago, I got our partner escalations down to about 20. They were at a skyrocketing 60, so we got them down to 20 amongst all of our CRS and CC agents. We did an immaculate job. Recently, they've gone back up. Last week, we did an awesome job of getting them back down. We gotta keep our notes updated, we gotta touch every single ticket, we gotta manage these tickets completely. Everything's gotta be an external note unless it's not pretty, and then it's gotta be followed by an external note, right?
Yeah.
So if it's not pretty, you can leak the truth in an internal memo, so everyone knows why you no-showed this tech and why he's dumb. But in an external memo, say the technician no-showed, I would put that as technician unable to complete repair, working to get a different qualified technician on site. Pretty it up.
I have a question about that, because I always did that, had an internal note and then a CRS memo as well. And I didn't know if maybe that was something that I should do less. Like when I work in a white glove and I just put a CRS memo in 2 hours ago or an hour ago or whatever, but I escalated again and I'll put that internal escalation. Should I every time put every time I escalate, put a CRS memo? Because that takes up more time.
If there's an internal memo, it has to be followed by an external memo.
Okay.
Has to be followed by an external memo. We signed a training roster 2 weeks ago, I need everything.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
if I escalate to tag, like, because you know, when they're white gloves and whatever, I'm having to escalate every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes, I paste my email into that white glove and also follow up with a CRS memo saying I re-escalated it every 30 minutes. Okay, just making sure.
Yes. Every internal memo has to be followed by an external one.
So I guess my question is, do I have to put all of my escalations in there? Every single one I do?
I don't understand. Whose phone is on? I heard it.
That might have been mine.
Turn it off.
Sorry.
Please.
Okay, so every 30 minutes I have to escalate. Do I have to paste those escalations into internal memos into the call? I should to CYA, right?
You should see why.
So, okay, just making sure. And then after every one of those, external memo.
An extra memo, and you can copy and paste your previous memo if it's the exact same, but it's to let your partners know, especially on a white glove ticket, it's to let your partner know, we haven't forgotten about you,
Okay.
we're still working on it.
See, and that's how I feel, but I've been told by other people not to do that because it makes the partners mad because we're saying the same thing over and over again. But I'm doing the same thing over and over
If you're
again.
over communicating and a partner's getting mad at you, I could care less.
Okay,
Hip hip hooray, let's have a parade.
okay, just making sure.
So, which department ships and orders parts?
Logistics.
So who's responsible for tracking?
Logistics.
Unless,
It's
It's
coming
HP
from,
break fix.
no, unless it's coming from the partner, cause not just, it's not just HP break fix, you, Sarah, supplies from the partner.
And Terex.
yay. And how do you determine if it's a customer supplied part or not?
It says
It's
it's
on the trip line, I mean the part line.
Everybody aware of that? What do you do if it says customer supplied part?
The customer.
Just calling them, you emailing them, what are you doing?
It depends what the face of the call says. Like if you, and sometimes in the notes, like some of the biz unknown people, they don't wanna be called. Because technically, even though the customer is your customer, it's the quote unquote partner that wants to be communicated with. So you would actually have to email them and to follow up. So you really need to read the notes and read the, what's it called? What's the box? Thank you, special delivery instructions, because that will tell you who you need to contact, if it's someone alternate than the customer, and then if you scroll down at the bottom, that'll tell you if you're even allowed to make
Contact
customer
the end user.
contact, and if you definitely have to go through the partner.
And I have to do that a lot, cause I work like any contract that happens to get white glove, so switching up contracts a lot, it's easy to make that mistake, so I have to look at that. Oh, but I had a question about the parts and stuff. What was that wonky thing, Brandy, with, was it Kelly Imaging or Kyocera?
Both.
Okay, so they order their parts, but on the part line, it'll say that it's our part.
Because we order their parts.
I need to write that down.
So here's how Kyocera works, and it's client specific, okay? So
Okay.
Kyocera and Kelly Imaging. Kelly Imaging, we order their parts directly from Kyocera. So it's like it is a third party that, we order their parts, they provide us tracking. However, both of them are our partners. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. We order the parts from our partners, so they are our parts then, if we got to from them. So I can escalate for tracking to our team then,
Absolutely.
right, Brandy?
I don't ever,
Okay,
I
that's
go
where
to
I'm
David.
You're
confused.
copied to the tracking numbers.
right, and I go to
So-
David if I need something.
Right, so normally, though, you will go to Tim. If it does not say customer supplied part, you will go to Tim.
So I
Say, need
follow
a
that
tracking
way, okay.
That is your SOP. If it does not say customer supplied part, you will go to our logistics team after 10 a.m. with an email to logistics.escalations.
Okay, that's.
Saying,
that's
hey,
what
I need
do.
tracking on this part,
Okay.
okay?
I was confused with that still, but now I got it.
How do you guys request time off?
Net
checks.
So does everybody know how to work net checks?
Pretty much.
Pretty sure.
Great, because I hate editing people's time.
Oh,
Okay, another CRS 101, CC 101, clock in, clock out, on time. I don't like to edit your times, and in the coming months, I won't do it. So your time will be your time, okay? When are parts guaranteed on site for commercial customers for BGS and orders?
Next day.
Okay, and, yes, that's right, sorry. How far in advance are you required to request time off?
2 weeks.
Everyone clear? The status of the call and pending additional parts, who's responsible for handling?
I'm sorry, I
No,
missed some
that's
of that.
that's.
I missed some of that, Candace, can you
Pending
repeat it,
additional
please?
parts is,
The status of a call is pending additional parts. Who's responsible for this status?
logistics.
Not always, because
No.
that's case specific, because with Kelly Imaging and Kyocera, I'm responsible.
It's a
I need you
CRS
guys,
function.
I need you guys really to hone in on the question. If a call is in pending additional parts, Who's responsible for handling that?
We would be,
Tech support.
no,
Tech
we would be,
support.
because apparently there's
And the
additional
funds
parts that are
listed.
needed that haven't been ordered at this point. So we need to either follow up with tech support and make sure that they've gotten in contact with the tech, or call the tech and make sure the tech has contacted tech support to get the parts ordered.
Isn't
it
that
is
only
us.
after
It is
2
yours.
hours though?
So ultimately, we do not order parts. Tech support orders parts. Tech support's responsible for working the status. You're responsible for managing the call. Okay? So you see how that works? So if it's gonna sit there for over 2 hours, you're gonna escalate over to tech support and say, hey, do your job. Or take it one step further and provide outstanding customer service to our tech support team and give a technician on the phone and submit a tech PD form. You can submit tech PD forms for everything but break fix, Kia Sarah and Kelly Imaging.
So
Does
those
everyone
scare me,
have
I'm gonna be
a
honest.
tech PD form?
No, can we get it?
Absolutely.
I'm
Will be
done.
sent the tech PD form before I leave here.
I get nervous about those, that I'm going to, because can I just trust that whatever the tech, because I know that tech support will talk to the technician and make an alternate determination sometimes. And I'm just afraid that if I just trust whatever the tech, that one on site says and order this part, it's gonna be on me if it was the wrong part ordered.
No,
Do you order
because tech
parts?
support's supposed to follow up with the technician and make sure
With
all
the
the
form?
information's correct, yeah.
So when I put that form in, I'm not like legit ordering parts.
No.
I'm just getting the information
You're
together for
just,
tech.
you're telling
I'm
tech
looking at
support,
it.
hey, this is what he's telling me,
But
can
you
you call
can't,
him?
you can't do that with Kia Sarah and Kelly Imaging and Break Fix.
Which is most of my board right now.
So with this tech PD form, you can only do it on printers. But I'm gonna show it to you guys so you know what it looks like.
No PD form for Kelly Imaging. And what about Xerox? Will we do PD forms for Xerox,
Yes.
Shannon? What about HPAIG?
No,
You do-
No, you say everything. but
I was about to say, ask her, she's in charge.
So HPAIG is an MES account.
Yeah.
Do you see this? It's on the top of your tech PD form.
Okay,
So
awesome.
if the tech's running HP, PPS, MES, Kia Sarah, you must talk to tech support from on site.
Kia Sarah includes Kelly Imaging.
And AIG is MES.
There you go.
Okay.
So this is your tech PD form. It's really easy, no big deal. I use it all the time. For all those people who complain that the hold times are way too long, I don't care. Okay? Unless they're on a Kia Sarah ticket or a Kelly Imaging ticket, an HP MES ticket, or an HP PPS ticket. The reason that those three are that they have to speak to tech support is because we have to go through third party. We have to order our parts from someone else. Okay?
isn't that for chair people too?
Human touch,
McCusker.
They don't talk to our tech support team,
No, they have to talk to somebody from on site though.
but they don't talk to our tech support team. So there's no reason for us to submit a tech PD form if we're not ordering those parts.
Okay, gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what it looks like. You have your ticket number, goes in the RFS number, the date of visit, so what day they're actually there, the technician, so his BAS ID and name, full name, first and last and BAS ID, and the printer information. So again, this is just for printers in our commercial team. Our residential team has a different process. They have to go, those technicians need to order those parts through, excuse me, those technicians need to order those parts through our tech support team, and troubleshoot further if necessary.
Is this a part of the text portal? Do they, or they don't have that in portal?
Go.
I do have a question, deviate from the subject, just a little bit for a second. The LG, the new airport calls, if they have a problem on one site,
They call it LG.
they call LG, they do not have to call the entire tech support department,
They
correct?
call LG.
Okay, I was clarifying, I was pretty sure, but I was clarifying.
So printer information, you'll take down the make, the model, the serial number. You need to ask him if he's confirmed these things. If we send a technician to site and he does not confirm the serial number, he needs, how do I say this appropriately? He needs to decide to read, okay? We don't send technicians on site to work on people's printers that we aren't assigned to. So he always has to confirm the serial number, always. for example, if he does not confirm the serial number and he breaks that unit, and we're like, no, we never worked on that serial number, and they're like, no, you did, and you broke it, then we would be lying to a customer saying that we didn't break it, right? We're not in bad business, we don't do that. So always confirm the make, model, and serial number, and say, hey, you know, we just wanted to confirm, you're working on the proper unit, what's the serial number? You can copy and paste, by all means, you can use BAM to copy and paste it. Make him read it to you. Okay? If he's not reading it to you, then it's likely that he's not actually confirmed it. Okay?
Yeah.
Here are your actual instructions. So image defects, text must change the toner drum him or herself to confirm perform stop test. Stop test needs to be scanned and returned with this form to 8310@barrister.com and techpd@barrister.com. You will send this form to both of those at email addresses regardless. Okay? But for an image defect, so there's toner spilling all over the place. There's a blue line on my page. There's whatever it is, okay? That's an image defect. He's got to perform a stop test. You need to ask him, did you perform a stop test? And he's going to be like, no, or yes. He's got to do it, okay? Otherwise, this is null and void, and tech support just has to call him anyways. Okay? So what other problems is the printer having? So here I would say jamming in the fuser. Jamming in the fuser, need maintenance kit, right? Or need fuser. Make sense? What's going on with the unit? These questions do need to be filled out to the best of your ability. If the unit is completely not functional, they cannot print, they will not have some of these answers. If it's a color printer, they will not have a maintenance life. Color printers don't have maintenance lives, okay? So how many trays does it have? It has 4. It's a huge printer. Jamming, what errors? It's a 13.10. That's a huge error in case you don't. Does it do it from every tray? Yes. The pages since last maintenance, this is the black and white printer, and we're going to go with 335. So they're due for maintenance. And anyways, total page count, we're going to go with 1. No, we're just not. Okay. You guys get the idea? Is the roller condition good? That is a critical question, especially when it's in a fuser, because those two parts coincide in a maintenance kit. Okay? If it's customer abuse, he will tell you. The technician will say, hey, I got on site and this unit is tore up. Someone took a hammer to it. He's gonna tell you that. He's not gonna wanna get charged for it. So he's gonna tell you, what's going on. And then you're gonna say, the printer diagnosis is basically the same thing as what other issues is the unit having. You're gonna say user error, say error code 13.10, okay? 13.10 error, why is the part needed, you're gonna say here, what the text said. He said he needs a fuser. And then it's gonna say why is the part needed, 13.10 error. That's all you need. And then the parts needed. If he has the part number, it's gonna be beneficial. Most technicians have been with us for a while. They know what part number it is. I don't know it offhand. So then if I don't know it and he doesn't know it, I'm gonna leave that field blank for our tech support team to determine. I'm gonna tell them what it is. It's a fuser for HP LG 1320, right? Makes sense? And then I only need 1. So if you have 5 rollers and they need more than 5 rollers, we're gonna put however many they need. You'll then save this to however you save. I save to my desktop a lot and then delete it. I have stuff saved in my documents, I have stuff saved in my downloads. However you save it, I don't care. You're gonna save it, and you're gonna pull up your email and you're gonna send it to 13.10 and tech PD with the ticket number, and then you're gonna attach the file. Team, please see attached. Send. Right? Okay. This prevents the technician from saying he didn't call in. This prevents those long hold times that we've been seeing recently. It does get us, somewhere, right?
Do we go to our email and forward like we're gonna forward and copy and paste what we sent into the notes in an internal memo?
My external memo usually states escalated to tech support to assist technician. So.
In ordering parts or just
Yeah.
assist technician in ordering
Assist
parts?
technician and ordering parts, however detailed you wanna be, you wanna try and get it as detailed as possible, but my technician. Did I answer everyone else's question? It's
What
not-
did she ask?
She said, is it okay to copy and paste it instead of sending as an attachment? No, you need to send it as an attachment, they need the form.
Okay, I need to be able to print it out as a form, correct?
They don't print them, but they need to be able to. So that's a tech PD form, everyone will get this today. We need to start utilizing them, especially with our technicians complaining of our long hold times, and we've actively seen our long hold times.
Yes. Yeah.
So this will greatly prevent that, so again, you just gotta follow the rules, PPS, MES, and Kyocera, you've got to do it, you just gotta talk to them.
And we
It's
only
only
have
the
these-
115, you gotta hold in, those cues.
We only have these for printers.
Only printers. Only printers. Right. 147 is, I think, the queue for
Residential.
the technicians.
179 is the thing.
17.
I have a question. I know that some of the queue numbers have changed. Do we have an updated list of, they used to have an updated list
I have one I
of
can
all
give
of
you.
them?
I have one, I can take a copy and give to you.
Okay.
Okay, so there's that stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Does everyone know what an SLA is?
License agreement.
So what does SLA stand for?
Service level agreement.
What does PCA stand for?
Customer action.
LVM?
Like
That
those
was
ones.
a message.
Are you allowed to use that in a note?
No.
We're not?
Not in a,
Not an
Apparently
external
not
memo,
anymore.
but maybe an internal memo.
No, John said no more abbreviations the other day when we were all in here,
That's
Oh.
gonna take up time, okay?
because not everybody uses the same abbreviation.
Like the partners and stuff?
See, when we first started, there was a list of abbreviations you were allowed to use and what they meant.
Yeah, I learned
Not
that
anymore.
list. Okay.
Whoops,
Whoops.
me, because I wasn't here for,
You sent out an email about it?
well, right, but I wasn't here, good.
I didn't think it, and see, I didn't take it as meaning the list that we were given that
Right.
says you can use these. I thought it meant people were doing stuff like for assembly, putting ASSY and things like that. I thought that's what he was talking about.
No abbreviations.
None whatsoever.
It's not ISO format to use an abbreviation.
Really?
README.
So what about ETA?
That one I believe is an ISO format.
I think ETA is actually a word now. Like ETA is a word. Because I use it in my work games. Unless ETA is a word as well, I don't know.
There are a lot of words that are now in the dictionary that should not be though.
It's 12:05, you guys want lunch or you wanna keep going?
How long is lunch?
An hour.
When is, I thought, was John coming?
John will be here.
So should we go to lunch before he gets here?
That would probably be appropriate.
So let's go to lunch then?
General consensus, you guys want lunch?
Yeah, I would like to eat at some point.